guys, it's Ricky from Ricky's Pretties, and today I'm going to show you guys how to paint and decorate a Christmas ornament. And we are going to be using a 3-inch styrofoam ball. Oops. Woohoo. And this I got in a pack of 6 at Hobby Lobby, and it was in with the holiday stuff, so it was 50% off. They are normally $3.99 for a pack of 6. But with the 50% off, you'll pay only $2. Now, if you get your styrofoam balls in with the other styrofoam items, you're going to pay a lot more than that. You're going to pay like $5 or $6 because they're usually not on sale, and these are. So, and I can't really tell the difference between those and these. So, except for the fact that these have like a little bit of, you can tell these have been made with you know, compressed styrofoam or something like that. I don't know, but it turns out nice. So this is what we're going to use. It's cheaper and it will turn out just as pretty. I do have some 20 gauge jewelry wire here. This is, you don't have to use this color. You can use silver or whatever. This is just what I have. So this is what I'm going to be using. It's a bronze color, I guess. I've got some tools for, you know, I've got some pliers here, flat pliers, some round nose pliers, and some cutters. I have some 500 grit sandpaper for smoothing out the styrofoam ball. I have some sequins that I got at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. I have glass seed beads. I don't know if these are, it doesn't tell me what millimeter they are, but they're tiny. They're just little tiny glass seed beads that I got at Walmart. And I've got some straight pins. These were $1 that I got at Walmart. I have some bits of lace, some beads, a little angel charm, and some spacer beads, and another little pack of beads. I don't know what beads we're going to be using yet, but I just got these out because I thought they were pretty and they might go. And all of those things here I got from my friend Debbie at Kiki sale. I've also got several colors of paint. I've got, and this is acrylic paint. You can use this kind. You can use the kind that come in the little bottles. Doesn't matter. As long as it's acrylic, it's going to work. I've got white. I have green. This is grass green. This is titanium white. This is magenta. And I have some brown here. I don't know if we'll use the brown, but I've got some. And then I have some gesso. We're gonna cover the ball in gesso here in just a minute. I have some Elmer's glue all, and I have some Mod Podge and several sizes of paint brushes. So let me get some of this stuff cleared away, and we will be back and we will begin our project in just a few minutes. Okay guys, let's begin. The first thing we want to do is, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this styrofoam ball, it's got a few little rough edges on it. We don't really want those on here, so we're just going to lightly sand this styrofoam ball a little bit just to kind of smooth it out. You know, just smooth those little rough edges off of there. You don't want to just dig into the ball. You just want to kind of lightly go over it. You know, just to very lightly go over the ball. Just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. Well, if you press too hard, you're going to make a little divot in your styrofoam, so don't press too hard. You just want to very lightly go over this, and don't use a coarse grit sandpaper or you're going to remove some of your styrofoam ball. It's got to be a fine grit sandpaper for this. Okay, that's pretty smooth, so I am going to toss that aside. Wipe down our ball. All right, and our little surface here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to poke a hole in it. Yeah, and this looks like a pretty good spot. Well, I don't know. Let's see. This is where they put the ball together. So I'm going to go through this way. I think this will be the bottom and this is going to be the top. I'm not going to go all the way through the ball at this point, but right now I'm just going to stick it in there just to hold that ball in place. Okay? All right. Now, that didn't go in very good. Styrofoam ball is not cooperating very well. Well, that's good enough for painting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get some of this gesso on here, and we're just going to paint the ball with gesso first. Okay guys, you want your ball to look pretty smooth, so just kind of keep going around it until you get a good coat of gesso on there and smooth it out as much as you can. And now we're just going to let it dry. You'll need a jar or something to stick this in so that, you know, it doesn't touch anything. I've got a little jar with glue sticks in it that I'm just going to put it in like this. And we're just going to let it sit here and dry, and then we'll be back for the next step, okay? I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay guys, we're back, and our little styrofoam ball that we painted white is all nice and dry. So we're going to go ahead and start painting it with our coat, you know, with our colors. So I've laid out a big blob of white, a smaller blob of what is this called? Crimson. Yeah. No, it's magenta. This is magenta, and just titanium white, and then I've got grass green if you're using this type of tubes. You don't have to use Master's Touch acrylic paint. You can use whatever you have on hand that are kind of these colors, or you can do whatever color you want. In fact, what I was going to tell you is today we're going to be painting a poinsettia on this particular ornament. But there are people, some of my friends actually, who leave their trees up year round. So you do not have to paint the same thing that I am painting. You could paint this blue and put little snowflakes all over it. Or you can paint it pink like we're doing today and then put hearts on it for Valentine's Day. You can paint it green and put, you know, like a light green and then put dark green shamrocks on it. And you know, for fall, you could make one look like a pumpkin. For Halloween, you could do like yellow with a black hat on there. You can make any kind of ornament you want with this. Anything you want. It does not have to be Christmas. It can, you know, I mean, can you just imagine? Or, you know, you can have your kids, you know, paint it a solid color and then have your kids paint some artwork on there. I mean, how cute would a whole tree full of your children's artwork be? So just use your imagination with this project, you know, and just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Now, with that being said, I did find some Opal Magic that I had on hand. This is by Prima. Now, it's a pearlescent paint. If you do not have this or don't have access to it or don't know where to get it, no worries. Just any type of pearlescent acrylic paint will work. And if you can't find that, then you can use mica powder, which is sold just about everywhere. Craft stores have it. Amazon has it. You can mix a little bit of just pearly mica powder in with your white paint and it will turn out pearly like this. All right, so I'm going to wet my brush down just a little bit. Let me see which one I want to use. Probably this bigger one. And I'm going to go ahead and dredge out some of this white and a lot of the pearl because I really want it to be pearly. And then I'm going to get just a little bit of that magenta, not very much because I don't want it to be overwhelmingly pink. And that's just about right, really. I mean, I probably got out way, way, way too much magenta. I'm just going to go ahead and mix all of that in there because I really want it to be pearly. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm sniffy and clearing my throat, it's because my allergies are so terrible right now. We've had a lot of wind today here in Oklahoma, and it is just insane. It's insane. I took my Zyrtec, but you know, what can you do? So I apologize in advance. If that aggravates you, I'm sorry. I haven't figured out how to do closed captioning on my videos, but if you can do that, feel free. I just don't know what else to do at this point, so you allergy sufferers probably understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're just going to kind of spin the ball around and drag that paint with it, and you know, liberally apply it to the styrofoam ball. I'm just kind of working our way up, putting a little extra here and there. Main thing is you want it to kind of be smooth. We have a little imperfection right here in our ball, so I think this is going to be the back of our ball because this side looks so much better. So we're just going to use this as the front. And I kind of like the way that this is looking, so all right. We're going to stop fussing with it, and we're going to start with our design. So for that, I'm going to get the smaller brush now, and what we're going to do is to make the petals for the flower for the poinsettia that we're doing. You're going to make teardrops basically. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're just going to take some of this magenta, dredge it through here. We want the bottom layer to be kind of dark. So we're just going to kind of get it, and then we're going to make, we don't want it to go straight up and down. We want it to kind of go this way. So we're going to make a teardrop. And then we're going to go down here. I really want that to be a little darker. Yeah, so we're going to go down here and we're going to make another teardrop. Actually, we'll go up here and make one just on the other side of that one. And these do not have to be the same shape and size. Actually, it's much better if they're not, but we do want the bottom, we do want these petals to be larger than the ones we're going to put on top of it. So we're going to make these the biggest. We're just going to keep making our little teardrop shapes, just like that. And then we'll put another one here. So basically it's just a dot and then a tail. That's pretty much all we're doing, is a dot and then a tail. And we're going to do another one right here. A dot and a tail. Just little teardrop shapes. Okay, so we're going to rinse our brush a little bit. That looks pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and dry our brush on this, because we want the next layer to be lighter than this one. We don't want it as light as the pink ball though, but it does need to be a little bit lighter than this. So we're going to just get some of our Acrylic paint, drag it through here, and see where we're at. And we're going to go in between now. So we're going to come to more to the center. And then we're going to make another little teardrop right there, and that's just about right. That's pretty much what I was hoping for. And then we're going to go in between this one, and we're going to make a smaller teardrop shape here. And then here. And that's okay, we can extend it out. If they vary in size, that's perfect, because, you know, poinsettia petals are not all the same size. Some of them need to be probably a little smaller, some of them need to be a little bigger. So this is perfect the way this is turning out. All right, and we've got one more left to do. I think I got that too dark. We're just gonna put it right here. Okay, so I like how that has turned out. So we are going to just kind of dot some darker pink right in the middle. Just like that, okay? All right, and then we're going to rinse our brush out really good. And then we're going to make some leaves. And the leaves are going to be the same exact way. They're going to be, this is a little thick right here, so I'm going to just kind of thin that out just a hair. Okay, so our leaves are going to be green, but we're going to do those the same kind of way, but we're not going to put them like all over the place. We're going to put like one here. Might mix a little white in with it. Okay, I'll just put like one here. Nice teardrop shape. And then we'll put one down here. Like that. One up here. Okay. And then another one right here. I'm going to look at this and then we might do one more. It just depends. I'm going to do that one just a little bit darker green. There we go. Pull that more towards the inside. All right, looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna do one more like right here, just to kind of offset it a little bit. You don't want like, here, I'll show you. You don't want it to be like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's got like 3 on this side and 3 on this side. You want to kind of stagger them a little bit, so that they don't have, you know, so that they're not like completely symmetrical. Okay, I don't know if that makes any sense, but you just don't want to put them in a row. You don't want to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nothing like that. You want them to be kind of off. So I like the way that looks, and so I'm going to stop there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get some of our just plain white. And we're going to put this on kind of thick. And we're going to put that here in the middle. We're going to dot this on thickly. Just like that. And then we're going to sprinkle some of our little seed beads on here for our center. And you're just gonna kind of pat them down in. All right, now once that dries, they're gonna stay put. Okay, so, and plus we're gonna be putting a little bit of Mod Podge over them. So if any of them are a little bit loose, that Mod Podge is most likely gonna seal it down. So we're just gonna leave that alone for right now and let it dry. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Our ball is dried and I have gone ahead and gone over it one coat with gloss Mod Podge. Just one coat. And as you can see, our beads are stuck. They're not going anywhere. And it's given us our little flower some dimension. Our ball is nice and shiny. and pretty. And now we're going to begin decorating it. And the first thing I want to do is apply my lace to the Christmas ball. And so I'm going to start cutting these into smaller segments. We're going to have 3 little lace segments for this particular ball, plus this one. I think I'm going to use this one in the center back here. It just depends on how well it sticks. We'll find out here in just a minute. I guess that would be kind of the center, would be here, looking at the bottom, you know, where our flower is centered at. That's going to be pretty much the center. So yeah, all right, and for this we're going to be using Elmer's Glue All. You do not want to use E6000 on this because I have tried that and it eats through the styrofoam ball. So you cannot use any E6000 on this at all. Otherwise it's going to eat right through your little styrofoam and you don't want that. So we're just going to use our Elmer's Glue All, and I'm going to just liberally apply this to the applique. You will need a piece of saran wrap for this step, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. It's going to help you smooth your lace down and conform it to your ball, because this, you know, applique is not round, so it is not going to want to take on a rounded shape. I might have gone a little overboard with this, but it tends to soak in. So, you know, I've discovered with stuff like this that more goes a long way. So, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and find my center again, which looks to be about right here. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. And then I'm going to lay my saran wrap over the top of it and cut my hand over it and just smooth it in place. And just keep smoothing it. So my glue has squished out of there, that's fine. It won't matter because it's not going to show. Okay, we'll let that sit for a second while we kind of figure out where we want our next piece to go. And I think I'm going to put this piece here or thereabouts. So I'm going to go ahead, and now I'm not going to, this applique has some really thin parts to it, so most of the glue that I'm going to try to concentrate is going to be here, but we do need that part to stick too, so we're going to have to put a little bit on there, but this will dry clear, so it won't really matter. We're just going to glue it, put some glue everywhere. So you want to make sure it gets stuck down good. Okay. Now, I'm going to lift my saran wrap from this here. I'm going to pick this back up, hopefully, and place it where I want it. Just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap my saran wrap over the top of that, cup it down with my hand, and kind of hold it in place with that saran wrap. So you can kind of see what the saran wrap is helping us do. It's helping us to keep our lace conformed to our round styrofoam piece. Okay. All right. And let's figure out, I think I want this other big piece to go over here, like that. So let's put some glue on it. Okay. Lift my styrofoam up. Get my applique where I want it. I kind of angle it that way a little bit. And I'm going to put my saran wrap on the top of it like so. Cup it with my hand. And just press it down good. Okay, we've got one more piece, and I'm going to probably put it down here. It's got this little, I think I'm going to put it around my little hole there, so I'm going to cut this. Like so. Let's see if it'll go like right here. Perfect. And that's where we're going to put it. So let's glue it. Make sure it's all stuck good. And let's go ahead and put some glue on here. Got a lot of glue on that one. That's fine. We're just gonna center that there. We're gonna use our saran wrap to kind of press it down. Our other appliques look stuck. We're gonna just kind of make sure that's good. And we can kind of lift this off carefully. Don't go very fast, just kind of very gently, because you don't want to pull it up. Of course, you don't want to pull anything up. You don't want to leave it on here. Your glue's going to stick your saran wrap to the ball. So you do want to gently pull it up, and then we can see if anything's not stuck down good, and we can kind of stick it. There's a a little bubble right there. I'm not going to worry too much about that because we're going to be doing some other things to it too. So if any little piece of it pulls up a little bit, that's not really going to bother us too much because I'm going to show you why later. But for the most part, those are stuck down on there pretty good. Let's see, I've got a little tail, a little stringy tail sticking out right here that I don't like, so I'm just going to trim that off because that's not wanting to tuck under there and it doesn't need to be there. There we go, and we'll just push that down. Okay, so we've got our little appliques on here. Don't worry if we've got a bare spot up here. It's not going to be bare for long. We're just going to go ahead and let this part dry, and then we'll be back to do the next thing. I'll see you in a few. Okay guys, our lace is all nice and stuck down pretty well. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to push our brush. We're going to set the ball down straight like this. And we are just going to push our brush all the way through this ball to the other side. I'm going to take my scissors and poke a hole right here for that brush to go through because I don't want it to rip my paint. And it might. So we're just going to go ahead and there we go. We don't want it to peel the paint, but we do want a hole to go all the way through. So that's where we are. Now I'm going to back that out just a little bit, and we are going to take some of our wire. You don't want, you know, too long of a piece, but it needs to be, I think you need to have some working room with it. So we're going to do about right here. I don't even know, you know, I'm just eyeballing it, really. I've gotten, I cut probably a little over 13 inches, 13 and a half, but that's probably way too much. But we're just going to straighten this wire out a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to poke this down the hole that our brush has made. So we're going to pull that out. And I'm going to kind of hold it up to the light and eyeball it so that I can see where my wire is traveling through. And there, it's out the other side. So now what we're going to do, we're not ready to work with this, so I'm just going to spiral it down. Same thing on this side, just going to wrap it around my finger and just let it kind of stay there. Okay, but we wanted that wire to be in there. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and decorate some more with our sequins and our beads and our little straight pins. And so I'm just going to randomly go around, and I'm going to put like a little dot of glue here and there, like maybe right here. But this was, I think this is clogged up. Hang on guys, let me get it unstuck. Yeah, I got a little stuck. It was kind of stuck. Okay, so yeah, start here, put a little dot. You don't need much. I'm going to get a straight pin, and I'm going to get a sequin. Actually, I'm going to go through and get a seed bead first. I'm doing this backwards. Seed bead first. Just one. And then we'll get my sequin. We'll go back in here and get it. Be easier. And then we're just going to go ahead and poke our styrofoam ball with that and stick this down. Just like that. And we're going to continue doing this until we have all the sequins that we want on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on this a little bit, let you guys check it out, watch. I might speed up the video so that it goes a little bit faster. Okay, so you guys kind of get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, and I'm going to finish placing these around wherever I feel like I want them. And then I'm going to bring you guys back to show you the next step, okay? So I'm going to finish this up and I'll be back. Okay guys, so the next step that we're going to do is we are going to attach our beads to the bottom of the ornament. And so we're not going to stretch out this side right now. We're just going to work with this end. And so we're just going to kind of unfurl the little coil that we just put in there. And we're going to straighten this out as best we can. It doesn't have to be entirely straight. It will be fine. And you can see what we did with the sequins. We've got them just pretty much wherever we wanted them. I've put them in random places all over the ball. I didn't put them here. I thought about it, but then I thought, no, because, you know, that's going to detract from, you know, what we've already, you know, painted with the flower and everything. So I just left it alone. You can put sequins on yours if you want, though. You do whatever you think is going to look the best. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and put the largest bead on because we've got a large hole to cover up there. So I'm going to put this large bead on first. Okay. And then I'm going to put a spacer bead. And then I'm going to put a smaller bead on here, which is this little pink crystal bead. To go on here next. So you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little round nose pliers and we're going to make a little loopy. About like that, see? Doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to hold that in place. This wire is bendable. So we're going to hold that in place and we're going to wrap this around. And we're going to coil it around 1 or 2 times. Probably just twice. And then I'm going to cut that wire as close as I can get it. Then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to pinch it down twice. And then I'm going to squish that together as best I can. Okay? Alright, just like that. And if we want this to be a little more round, you can use your round nose pliers to kind of shape it where it's a little more rounded. But to me, that's good enough. I don't really require perfection in my projects. If you do, you probably want to shape it a little bit better. But for now, I'm content with the way that looks. And I'm going to go ahead and put my little angel on here. Didn't close the way I hoped it would. It's still got a gap, and I don't want that gap in there. Let's see if I can get it closed. Usually if you just pull it out and then squish it down, the gap will close nice, but it didn't work that way for me, so I'm having to fuss with it a little bit. There we go. Okay, and now we've got our little angel baby on there. And she's so pretty. She's really pretty. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the top now. And for this, we're going to kind of use our finger. And we're going to shape a loop at the top. Just like that. Maybe a little shorter than that. And then we're going to go ahead and do what we did before, wrap it around. Several times. I didn't really get that as tight as I wanted it. I'll try it again, guys. I want to get a pretty decent wrap on this, so I'm trying to get it as tight as I can. I'm going to wrap that several times before I cut it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Bend that in. Gonna bend it down towards the inside of the styrofoam ball. And there we have our hooky at the top. Okay, now don't worry about this. That is not gonna show. And what we're going to do next is we are going to put some mulberry flowers around our hooky deal up here at the top. Actually, I think I'm going to tie a ribbon on that first is what I'm going to do. So, I don't have the ribbon I want over here. So give me just a minute, guys. I'll be right back. And then we're going to tie our bow on here before we put the mulberry flowers on it. Okay, I'll be right back and we will do the next thing. Okay guys, I'm back and I just got some simple 1/4 inch white satin ribbon. That's all I'm going to use for mine. You can use wired ribbon. You can use whatever kind of ribbon you want on yours. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up tight. You don't want it to slip down inside your ball. While you're working with it. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, I'm going to do this way because it's easier for me. Alright, so before I tighten this, I'm going to pull that up because our knot's going to kind of help hold that in place. And keep that from slipping down in there. So I'm going to go ahead and knot that. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm using this to kind of hold my ornament in place while I work with it. You can use any kind of a jar that you have, that you have on hand to do that. As long as your ball kind of sits in it, that will be fine. And I think so that this is pretty from the front and the back, I may just tie two bows on here. Let's see what that is gonna do. I've cut way too much ribbon on here. That's okay. We're kind of playing and experimenting. I like playing around. So I think I'm going to try to tie another bow up here. Yeah. Oh, I think I'm going to like it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll tie just another little bow up there. And now I've got a cute little bow on top. I've got 4 little strands hanging down. I'm just going to trim them a little bit. And you can singe the ends with a little lighter. And that will keep them from fraying out. Or you can put a little dab of glue on there, which is probably what I will do. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And that's pretty by itself. You wouldn't even really have to do anything else to it. But I'm going to add just a couple of little touches up here. I think I'm going to put a couple of little flowers on top. Just because I think I will like it. I'm going to go ahead and put one here. And just to kind of hold it in place, because I don't want E6000 on here, I'm going to go ahead and just stick a little pin through it. The pin's not going to show, but it's going to help hold that in place. Okay. And then I'm going to put another little, a smaller one, different color, flower, slightly, not quite as pink. I'm going to put this guy over here. Kind of just with that one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a pin through the little leaf on here. Just so that holds there. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the back. So I'm probably just going to put one back here because I think that's going to be plenty. So I'm just going to put this one here. Little dab of glue, yeah. And stick it right there. I'm going to insert a pin under that petal just to hold that flower in place. Okay, guys. And Now we've just got one thing left, and that is I'm going to put some Spectra glitter on here just to make it shiny and sparkly. So I'm going to get some Mod Podge. And I'm just going to kind of paint over little parts, especially, you know, the flower and leaves and stuff, the front of this. I really want it to be sparkly and in between the little sequins. Okay, and then I'm just going to, I use an egg carton for this, so it doesn't make a mess all over my table. And I'm just going to shake some of this on here. And let's see. I'm a little extra. I got a little spot that I didn't get much of anything here, so I'm going to put some there. Another little shake. There we go. I love it. That is beautiful. And I'm going to add just a little bit. Try to keep my fingers out of it. I'm going to add just a little bit back here too, guys. Just painting it around the lace. You could put it on the lace too. It's not going to hurt it any to get some glitter on your lace. Or on the sequins for that matter. I mean, if you accidentally get some glitter in extra places, it's not going to hurt it. It's glitter. Okay, so here we go, guys. Once this dries, it'll be all clear. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's gorgeous already. You could do both sides like this if you wanted to do that. You could do an entire ornament out of the lace and the sequins, and that would be pretty too. But I think hand painting it adds a little extra touch. It's absolutely gorgeous. I will take a picture of this hanging on the tree once it dries. And I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this project and that you will subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If you have, thank you. I really appreciate your support in helping this channel to grow. And I will see you guys later for our next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.